Why does Saigon never sleep at night? Why does this girl smell of orange trees? How could I feel good when nothing's right? Why is she cool when there is no breeze? Vietnam, you don't give answers to your friend. Just questions that don't ever end. Why, God? Why today? I'm all through here, on my way. There's nothing left here that I'll miss. Why send me now a night like this? With this girl in this rusty bed. Why am I back in a filthy room? Why is her voice ringing in my head? Why am I high on a cheap perfume? Vietnam, hey look, I mean you no offense, but why does nothing here make sense? Why, God, show your hand? Why can't one guy understand? I've been with girls who knew much more, never felt confused before. Why me? What's your plan? I can't help her, no one can. I liked my memories as they were, but now I'll leave remembering her. In come the helicopters. When I went on before, no one talked of the war. What new I went back and re-upped, sure as I got it corrupt. It felt better to be here, driving for the endless. Cause here, if you can pull a string, a guy like me lives like a king, just as long as you don't believe anything. Why, God? Why this face? Why such beauty in this place? I liked my memories as they were, but now I'll leave remembering her. Just her. Breaker 99, we're going down. We're after. Now live from Boca Raton, not Vietnam, it's the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And the crowd goes wild.
You gotta duck because we're in Saigon.
That was amazing.
It probably would have been better if Josh would have done the effects, or we could have gotten like military effects on the board instead of him doing. He sounded like something from Star Wars.
Baxton, is that one of your favorites?
I love that song. Is it hot anymore?
No, you gotta use one over there.
These two over here are hilarious.
Like,
She's sleeping standing next to you.
like,
Get a mic.
They have mics.
okay,
She doesn't have a
so,
mic.
Why God Miss Saigon? That has to be one of the quickest, it's not my favorite Broadway song, but it's definitely the quickest Broadway song I ever fell in love with. My dad, I remember we sung it karaoke one time, and he sung Why God, and I was like, you know what, I think it's a very nice song, it's very good for my range, I think it'll be a perfect song to do.
Imagine if these two were brothers. That's why I loved your segment, Two Dudes in a Car.
We were gonna do it today, but we ran out of time.
What,
Better watch out.
Where were you guys going today? Weren't you taking somebody with you for a car ride?
I gotta take Zaria for a car ride.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
I come?
she wants. I don't know because you freak out.
Why do you
Yeah,
think
'cause
I
you're-
have a car?
That's what Zaria wants me to do. She wants me to go on the highway and put my foot on the floor.
No!
Why would
She just said yes.
Why would 7-car pilot want that?
Well, 7-car
And there was only 2 plus 3 more. It was only, and then there were
And the other, like, 5 were not even regarded to
Five had nothing
mine.
to do with his.
It was a whole
accident.
separate.
It was just the accident behind him.
Well, the bottom line is that he started the fracas.
I didn't. Technically, the car behind me started it. 'Cause,
Now, did he hit
What if
you?
he says the
No,
car in
he
front of
didn't.
me started it?
He didn't hit you.
No,
What did you hit?
just the one car. That's it.
So what car did you hit?
Just one car.
It was like an old lady.
In front or behind?
In front.
And then she hit 17
No,
other
no, no,
cars?
no, no. Okay, I hit the lady from behind.
I'm like a little way.
I hit the lady from behind. Then, like, I was like, oh, I'm terribly sorry. And she was like, oh, it's okay. Accidents happen. It was a very, very nice older lady.
So how did the other 5 cars get involved?
I don't know. Because, like, I was watching people were going around me. People were going around me. People were going around me. Then I guess people just stopped paying attention. And they started, like, freaking out and crashing into the trees and the media. Because, like, I looked at the police report. The other 6 cars behind me, they were not even on the police report.
Because they had their own police report.
Yeah, it was just.
So let me get this right. You stopped traffic, people were going around you, and they ended up in the trees?
No, like, at first people were going around me. Normally, like, normal people. Then all of a sudden, I guess people just stopped, because next thing I know, like, 6 ambulances, 5 firemen, and 3 police officers. I was like,
Were you on a curve?
no.
Were you stuck in the middle of the road?
No, I pulled off to the side.
When did the other accidents happen?
I don't know.
Sometime between him hitting a car and him getting outside the
I don't
car.
know what happened.
Were they filming like Blue Bloods or some kind of cop show?
But, like, honestly, the moment I saw everything, I was like, what on earth have I done? Because I thought everything was my fault.
But why would you think you did it? This is the part that I'm confused
I
about.
was
Why-
in hysterics. I was not in the correct mindset.
I think that two dudes in a car is going to be short-lived because this guy seems to be causing
I
accidents.
want to drive, but not him drive.
Yeah, don't
What?
let
You
him
don't
drive.
trust my driving? Yeah, really.
We're going to start calling you 7-car pilot because apparently things happen around you didn't even know. You didn't know what happened.
Where are you going?
It was I don't know. The others, I take responsibility for the one car. I get that. But the other 5 cars had nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Oh, I think my new vacuum cleaner might be here.
There's about 6 boxes over there.
Maybe those are your lights and my vacuum cleaner.
No, my lights are 4 boxes alone, but I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of Amazon over there.
I think Amazon is using us as a hub.
What did you order?
I have no idea. What'd you order?
A vacuum cleaner. Of course, all I ever order.
Did you order 2?
I need a past life regression, I got to tell you. Because
First of
somewhere
all,
in my past life, I must have been a cleaning person, or I must have lived in filth and squalor that I feel the need to constantly clean. Like one or the other. I was either like a neat, crazy person, or I lived in the jungle amongst dirt and bugs all the time. And in this life, I say, no more dirt and bugs. You're going to clean all the time. There's something not right in my mindset. All I do is buy vacuum cleaners, and then they break.
The word crazy. Well, between you
Even bags.
between you and 7-car pileup, I've never seen people break 6 vacuums.
I never broke a vacuum.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't break a vacuum.
I didn't even have to say anything. I think Josh says it all with his.
Okay, Josh, riddle me this, Batman.
You got it?
When did I break a freaking vacuum?
All right, listen, let's take a commercial break because I got to go talk to.
More to come. Let's see what Amazon sent. That could be a whole segment in itself.
What did Amazon
What did
deliver?
Amazon deliver today? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I gotta send one of the guys next door. We seem to have gotten everybody's Amazon.
So they weren't even ours?
3 of them is ours. We got like 6 packages. I mean, this guy must think we're the hub. That's the next door that way, the ones over there by the door.
How many are there?
2.
Okay.
And then we got 3.
What are the little ones?
I got some pills. You got a vacuum. And then I got some extension cords for the lights.
We spend so much time here that everything just gets delivered here.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
So we get everybody's mail?
That's pretty much what it is, because we were always here in the house. What are you eating over there?
It's a good thing he's on a diet.
He hasn't started yet.
He hasn't stopped eating since he's been
I
Monday.
have to ask you, what are your emotional eating triggers?
Oh, God.
Yes, what triggers you?
Eat.
What triggers me?
You know,
No, for me, I'm just talking about.
Anything that's not a good feeling.
So right now, is there a bad feeling that's making you eat, or you're just hungry?
Whenever I get nervous, anxious, whenever I'm on a high, when I sing, I get on a high. Hey!
And he eats the whole bag.
The whole bag, yeah.
Okay. And how about you, Josh? No triggers for you.
I don't like eating. I only eat.
You don't like eating?
No, I like eating.
You're not
but
like healthy?
no, I'm not like. If I get stressed out or anything, I just like to build a wall around me and just sit and just mope.
And wallow in it.
Why?
But
Like I do that. I do that too, like in the dark. But when it comes to me, I just bring like a whole like 3 burgers with me when I do it.
no.
And I eat when I cry myself to sleep at night. I'm okay, folks. Don't worry about me.
After my quote unquote medical stuff, I love the chips.
I'm sure you do.
Anything crunchy.
I'm sure you do.
love. I don't
That
know
explains
why.
lunch the other day.
It's the crunchy noise that I love.
You ever put potato chips in your tuna fish?
Not tuna fish, but I put in like the veggie sub from Publix or something like that. That's good. Or putting fries on a burger. That's good.
But that's not crunchy.
It's not crunchy.
I put potato chips on everything. Used to anyway. I don't do that anymore.
Did you ever dip your fries in your milkshake?
Yeah.
I heard
Yep.
about that. Ugh.
No, the only place that works is at Wendy's. You get a small chocolate frosty and you get the fries and you dip it in. That's the only place that
you
works.
get the vanilla one.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Katie, how about you? You got food triggers?
I just eat snacks.
You just like to eat?
I like to eat like sugary things.
So she comes in yesterday with these bitter watermelon gummy things.
Oh, they're nasty.
And Josh says to her, and now it's 8 o'clock at night. I think at that point, where does anyone eat anything in this place? Because everyone's just tired trying to figure out how we're going to keep going. So Josh says, you still have one? She goes, here, finish them. He puts one in his mouth. Then he goes to pull it apart. He's like, ugh, this is gross. But she was eating them, and everyone here, that's just a thing. It's a sugar high.
Braxton decides to have lunch in the lobby, and he says he's on a diet. So I look at this. I look at this bowl of sausage and
Pasta.
and pasta.
Did he tell you what his diet is?
It's in the fridge, by the way.
What's in there? I'm afraid to ask.
No, it's not. His diet's not like changing his food or anything.
Just make okay. The diet. Well, it's not even a diet. It's more of a medical thing.
Okay, so you can't eat certain
You're
foods?
doing it to lose weight.
I'm doing just to lose weight.
Okay.
Because what it's gonna do is I'm gonna be injected, and God forbid if I was on this injection right now, and I was eating this. I don't mean to gross you all out, but I'd probably be in the bathroom.
So why in the world would you
He
take
may need his own bathroom. Katie, you know where that outhouse is?
over there in the corner?
Yep.
But why
Another
would you
one.
do? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you take something that prevents you from
it's gonna
enjoying the
help
things
me.
you like?
No, but why don't you just change up the foods you eat
Or the,
and
or
work
the
out?
portions. The
I do
portions.
work out. Hang on. I can't. My emotional eating has gotten to a point when I cannot stop myself when it gets nighttime.
You
I know,
can't
but-
stop eating one potato chip. You got to
No.
have the whole bag.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to change if you inject yourself with it?
It'll make me feel sick when I eat it, so therefore I don't want to eat it.
So you want to get sick to eat the things that you should slow down eating.
Emotional eating is a huge thing for people. There are people, they talk about it all the time. And you know what part of it is? It's the cravings that they do to the processed foods. Because you eat one chip and your body says, oh, let me have another one. Sugar and salt are things that your body craves. The processed food of what it is, mostly the sugar, when you
Yeah,
get
but
off of it.
psychologically, I don't think he's ready to do that because I don't think it's going to change his behavior. Otherwise, he would change it now. So he's going to get sick a lot. He's going to eat the things he shouldn't eat.
Because I hate getting sick.
Right.
So the first few times I try to eat something like this, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna say, okay, I don't want to do this again.
Okay, I got another way of doing it. Put a rubber band on. And every time you eat something you're not supposed to eat, let me stretch it.
That's
Remember
what
we
I
did that?
He
did.
did that.
But like for when I like for like picking skin, I put a rubber band on my wrist, and so like every time I like did it by accident, I would like do like a
You would
little.
snap it.
I got it from a show.
It's horrible.
No, but you're not like smacking
I would
it.
rather feel nauseous.
No, but you're not like smacking. It's like a little like pinch kind of.
I would rather feel nauseous.
My friend had a bracelet, and this person, it would shock him because the person would, whenever they stress out, they like to pluck their hairs.
Oh.
And so, like, when they raise up their arm or something like that, it would give them a little shock.
That's a good one too. They have that for cats. I wanted to put Casper on there. They told me not to.
They have it for
No,
pets, but
we don't do that to animals, though.
Well, they jump on certain furnitures and do things they shouldn't
That's
do.
what a spray bottle's
Trust
for.
me.
Spray bottle.
Well, you put a shock collar on
He
your
doesn't
cat?
Yeah, they sell them. And you put it under your chair. Let's say you don't want him on the chair.
Horrible.
No, he learns and he doesn't do it anymore. The spray bottle, he doesn't care. He thinks he's taking a shower. My cat jumps on the sink and puts his head like this upside down, and I had to turn the water faucet on for him.
Yep.
while he
That's-
drinks out of the water.
He drinks out of the faucet, and then they said, "No, we ain't doing that no more, Casper. That's not us teaching him. Somebody else taught him."
That's freaking hilarious.
Let's
Get a,
bring
um,
Casper in.
Can you film that and send it in for our
no,
pet
you know what's
purpose?
hilarious? He opens the. I guess they had these little sticks, like he hits it, opens it, and then drinks. He can't do that with me because you got to turn it.
Can you film that so we can put it on our
No,
pet
I don't want to
purpose?
film that. I don't want him doing that.
He won't know.
Oh, trust me, this
It's like
cat.
positive reinforcement of the cat.
This
Get a
cat
Coke
knows.
can, fill it with quarters, and then shake it when they do
Why?
something bad.
They don't like the noise.
Yeah.
What?
Casper enjoys anything that I do. I could blow a firecracker. He'll go. And stay
'Cause
right
he's
there.
cute and he admires things.
What kind of parent do you think you're going to be, Katie? Are you going to be like, oh, he's cute, it's okay, put your finger in the socket, or are you going to be like a no spray bottle? No,
Well,
there's
first
like,
of all, I'm gonna have a cat, not a child.
You don't want
That's
children, Katie?
first. What?
You don't want children?
I'm gonna have a cat. That's gonna be my child.
Like my goal is to
At
be,
least one cat.
My goal is to be married and with children by the age of 25.
Well, you know what?
How
Some
old are you
things,
right now?
23.
sometimes things
How's
don't
it
happen.
going?
So we're,
cat is the
How's that
backup.
going
I'm
for
still
you?
A
searching.
cat is the backup.
All right, so let's assume that you have one cat and 20 children. What kind of parent do you think you'll make?
I will never have 20 children. First
what kind
of all,
what kind of a lot of quadruplets? What kind of parent do you think you would make?
like what specifically are you referring
Oh, are you
to?
going
A
to be
nurturing
stern? Like
parent,
Dawn was
how about-
asking.
Are you a
Stern?
strong disciplinarian, or are you more of a, oh, that's okay, honey, let's work it out another way?
I think it would be a little bit of each. I don't think I have a strong opinion on one specific side. I think every situation is different, and that counts for bringing different sides of yourself out to help or not help.
So you change depending on the circumstances and how you feel.
I mean, I think it just depends on the situation and what they're doing.
How about you, Baxton?
Okay. I know for a fact that I would be a soccer dad and definitely the pushover. Because I'm too much of a people pleaser.
Like
I
with Bailey.
Hmm?
Like
Yes,
with Bailey.
I do not. When I see people upset, I myself get upset. So therefore, I'm the happy guy. Oh, who
Yeah.
wants ice cream?
Like
Who
him.
wants- Huh?
He's the same way.
Who wants to go
Yeah.
out for dinner? You want this? Well, you can't have it, but tough love. Let's go.
That's not you.
No, like, I would like to be a mixture of a pushover. See, my parents, when they were raising me, they were two sides of the court. They were never pushovers, first of all. That was just more of a joke. But they were the kind, nurturing, loving folks when, you did what was asked of you. When I was growing up, they didn't ask. It's not like they were asking you to do things each and every day. They were just asking things, do the dishes, clean your room, make sure that this is in order, make sure that's in order. And normally it was, but like there was only a few times when I saw my parents get stern with me, and it scared the living daylights out of me.
How about you, Josh?
I'm gonna let my kid do whatever he wants, and if something bad happens to him, I'm gonna just sit down and say, "Yo, what happened?"
And at what age does that start?
What?
Let them to do what they want.
Middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Okay,
say
so-
sixth grade. I'll give them their freedom.
So Josh, what if your
Emancipates
kid
10-year-old.
knocks off a convenience store?
A what?
A
You and I are
convenience
so
store.
old.
What do you mean?
Robs a convenience store. Are you gonna look at him and say, "Okay, what happened?"
At 11 years old?
Give me the Roblox. Give me all the Roblox behind the register. Give me all the Fortnite gift cards.
Or just sit down and have the conversation.
I
like, why?
kind of understand what he's trying to say, but
Like,
Talk
just
it
not
out.
good at
wait
it.
until
Talk
he
it out as a
robs
friend.
a
Like, how
freaking
would you
bank
do
and
it?
say, "Okay, little Timmy, what happened now?"
You know,
I robbed the bank, Dad. That's what happened.
That usually comes from the people you hang around with.
Oh, what if he's hanging out with people at school that he's not supposed to? And what
I
if he's
want- I
like,
can't
"Hey,
wait to
let's
see."
go knock off a liquor store"?
it's funny because what you're trying to say is that you want, this is Gio's mentality too. He wants his son, because him and his son do everything together. So the assumption is that because you're with your son all the time, that as you grow up, 6, 7, 8, because you did everything 3, 4, 5 together, that they're gonna grow up with that, and you sort of embellish, you're gonna be a good kid. You're not gonna steal a liquor store. You're not, that's the thought.
Like you've instilled the good habits at a young age.
Right, like
Okay.
like I didn't smoke cigarettes in high school because my mother's face was embedded. She said, "You better not do that." So I never did. I picked it up and threw it
You
down.
were the good kid?
I was, in doing bad things. But what begins to happen is that some of the things that you want to try, because you're always curious. You want to have the first kiss. You want to try your first little whoop, 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 whoop. You want to do things like a little drinky. You want to do things that you're not supposed to do because you want to know if you like them. Not dating one girl, dating multiple girls. I grew up that
Where's the
wasn't a
buzzer?
problem.
Up there. I was there
Can
for
you get the butt? Thank you.
But you talk to millennials today, you talk to these kids, and they think that that's taboo. You don't date multiple kids, you date one girl or one guy. That's not the way we rolled. We had digits, so we had a Monday girl, and we had a Wednesday girl, and we had a Thursday. I'm just telling you. So I try to tell my kids these things, and Freddie and Gio would not have it. They would say, "Absolutely not. That's the wrong thing to do." I said, "So what are you going to do? You're going to meet somebody, you're going to fall in, you're going to get married. And you better be ready because marriage lasts a long time."
Do your boys raise their sons the same way?
No. Complete opposites.
There's a show actually like that that's out there when there's two brothers or family members about raising them and who parents. I think it's a TV show.
Yeah.
Whose parenting style is better? Have you seen it?
I forgot the name, but yes.
Same situation,
But
but
there
you're,
is no better.
who? Well,
Yeah, you look at Aaron, right? Aaron looks like he was raised with a lot of understanding, but he had a good head on his shoulder. But I mean, he went to school with a cape, so I don't know.
well, it was one of those things in kindergarten. I couldn't fight all the battles. You want to go to school in a costume? Go for it. You want to wear a tail? Do it. I mean, there's nothing more I could do at that point.
Freddie raises his kids strict, like he wants them to walk the fine line, and then he'll try to be athletic. You know, I don't know what it is with the wrestling thing nowadays. I just don't get that. Gio's more of the buddy. You know, you got a friend in me, and the buddies. And I said to him, bro, there's gonna be a time where you gotta be his father, not his buddy. And he says, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, I raised both of them.
Two different
it's
parents.
Joey.
In two different directions.
You gotta be buds with Joey.
The problem isn't. You gotta
Joey's so
understand
cute.
when you're up to 5 years of age,
He's
you're
3.
you're his means of support. You feed him, you burp him, you pamper him. He's gonna look at you and say, "Yo, you gotta take care of this pamper." When they go 5 to 10, it begins to change.
Yeah.
Because they get friends and they get influence. When it goes 10 to 18, you're not gonna recognize your kid, and you can lie to yourself. You can tell yourself, "Oh no, me and my son are tight. I know everything he does." Come on, guys. You were 18 once. Did you tell your mother and father everything you did?
Yes,
That's not true, Brad.
I did. I
Yeah, you
literally
did.
told them I would have these like.
I
guilt
would find
sessions.
something in your life that you did not tell them.
Nothing.
Because we all did
Nothing
that.
at all. My
I find
parents
that
know-
I find that incredibly hard to believe.
How about you, Josh? Your mom knows everything?
Of course not. Of course not. Man, if she was standing right here, he would say, yes, she does.
And I know Katie, there's no way.
I guarantee.
Absolutely
you,
not.
Parents know everything? They can't. They don't want to know
Yeah,
everything.
does your mom know your statistics grade?
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about
So-
other stuff.
They know I'm having issues with statistics, but I don't tell them my grade.
I guarantee you, like, if you called my parents right now and said, do you know anything and everything about Paxton? They know about my emotional eating. They know about my troubles.
But they didn't know about you when you were 12 or 13
Yes.
or 14.
They knew like it got so bad. I would literally have like I would hide it for a bit, but then I would have like these like
Okay.
guilt session nights.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Your mother knows that you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go scream in the tunnel?
Yes, I tell her about that.
Well, I
And
guess-
it
what does
worries
she
her
say?
sometimes.
I guess he's the nut in the tree.
And what does she say?
She's like, Baxton, what do you do? She says, as a lawyer, this worries me.
And your mother knows everything about you?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Listen, you and I grew up in a day where there were no cell phones. There was no GPS. There were barely, I didn't even have a seatbelt till I was in high school.
What's a seatbelt?
My car didn't even have seatbelts till I was 16.
What's
So-
a seatbelt? I used to travel as
was
a high,
totally different when
as
you
a
and I
high
grew up.
schooler on Friday and come back Sunday night or Monday to go to school. And my mother says, when did you get home? I says, about now. And she says, where you been? I says, I traveled the island. In Puerto Rico, I went to, it's an island. On an island, you go to different beaches. I even tried surfboarding one time. I almost broke my neck. But I was like everywhere. Now, my mother said, you bring me your report card and we're going to discuss about this situation you got going. But I was a straight A student. It wasn't easy
I didn't do anything bad.
because you had the grades. No, you didn't do anything good.
Everything I did was good.
So
but
how come she don't know about it?
But you don't need to know everything. But
It's her birthday. Should we call her and
Happy
tell her, Mom, let me
birthday,
tell you
Mom."
everything? Would you tell your mother something today, being that you're older, about something that you did back then you weren't supposed to do?
No.
I can't think of anything like that bad.
Oh, I can think about a few things.
But you know, you got to give a huge credit to our crew because businesses and owners of businesses bring in people similar to the culture of the business, right? Every single one of them are great. I call them kids because they're our kids' age. They're strong family ethics. They're great with friendship, leadership. These two could be brothers from another mother, the way they all get along. I mean, you welcome people in. Zaria was friends with them like from day one. They're a good group of kids. I know.
The ocean is always calm on the surface.
And imagine you and I trying to raise kids together.
We would argue all the time.
Well, I don't know.
We would.
Are
You guys
the
already
stern parent?
argue all the time.
Huh?
You guys already argue all the time.
I know. Baxter was on the vacuum argument this morning when it was broken.
I mean, because my expectation is it changes. It gets higher and higher because I want them to be the best.
And I got to tell you, the banner you put together last night is amazing.
Even
She
my
can't-
mom said, like, wow, your design skills have improved a lot.
Your design skills, the video you did for Pub in the Hub, Allie loved it. We just have to add a logo at the end. People aren't even
Cece's-
asking for edits. That's how good your skills
I'm
have
gonna tell you
gotten.
something. Cece's video, it brought a tear to my eye. She saw it yesterday, and you know that's another thing. You could be a little freaking discreet, man. We're pretty here for that tear in your eye. I'm
For
like,
your allergies.
allergies.
Listen, I got to tell you, that video,
Amazing.
you targeted so many emotions. You didn't have a dry eye in this place, and I looked around. You had everyone transfixed on that video. Which means you cut to the core of the feel of the song, and that's how you know you did a good job on an edit. No one even asked you to re-edit it.
Yeah.
No, you hit home on that thing. But again, Dawn is more of the let me be the mother and let's work it out. Let's do. No, I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, but everyone respects you for
They
that.
don't respect me. Don't say that. I was called a cranky old man. I was called all sorts of names.
She did tell you the cranky
All
old
I
man.
want you to do is do you, be you, and believe in you. If you do that, we're good to go. If you don't, if a person says that your mustache is crooked and that turns your day upside down, then we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk.
Like, what if a friend looks at you and says, "Oh, you've got a pimple right on
A
your
wrinkle.
cheek,"
A
or
wrinkle.
Be like, oh, I didn't notice.
or you've got a wrinkle between your worry lines. Would that be offensive to you? Or
I'd
would
be
you-
like, I already know about it. Move on.
why do people feel compelled to have to be that honest? Did you
Because
ask?
people suck.
Good answer.
I'm sorry, but am I wrong? No.
Now, if
I
I
know.
say to somebody like that tells me about the wrinkle, says, "You ugly. How come you so ugly? Why you wake up so ugly today?"
But why does the conversation even have to be engaged like that? Are there not other topics to have to say?
Well,
or
you
say
want them to
nothing?
feel the bite they're giving you,
But
no?
why? What if you're not giving a bite?
Because
Because
people
they're being
suck.
a bully. A bully is a bully until you stop making them a bully.
How do you make them not be a bully? You ever been bullied, Josh? Yeah.
And what you do to defend yourself? Knuckle sandwich?
I didn't do anything. That's why I have so many problems right
Well,
now.
you see, this is the outcome.
Well, what did they bully you about?
Huh?
What were you bullied for?
Being weird, being awkward, being ugly, being stupid,
Uh-oh.
being stuff like that. Don't touch me though.
We love you.
Somebody's come out.
You want a mic?
She wants a mic.
Okay, listen. When I was getting bullied in school, I would hit them back.
Go sit over
right?
there.
You were getting bullied, what?
When I was getting bullied in school, I would hit them back, right? Except they wouldn't stop because they were bigger than me.
So they would hit you and you would hit them back?
Yes.
And what did your parents say about that?
My mom told me to end it. What do you mean?
End it how?
Ended how?
She
Like,
said what she told me, like since I was in like elementary school, she was like, you don't start the fight, but end it.
What does that mean?
So pretty much, if somebody, don't be the first one to throw the punch, but pretty much,
Be the last
comes
one?
down
Don't
to it,
like
be the last
you're
one
not
to
the
throw the punch
cause of
that
the
ends the fight.
problem, essentially, but you are the solution.
So your mother wanted you to resolve the issue without getting violent,
No,
more or less.
no, she wanted her just to get as violent as she needed to.
Yeah.
Or to get as violent as she...
Wait, no. Like not to start the fight, but to end the fight that she needs
Yeah, if I'm getting picked on to make them stop, is just
by any
essentially
means
what it
necessary.
was. Yeah.
See,
But they-
my dad had a very almost identical mentality. I was getting bullied and bullied. I would tell them to stop, and they would not listen to me. So one day they took off my new hat and started filling it up with all this dirt and stuff, and like throwing it around and tossing it in the air. So I walked up to the kid. Little did I know the teachers were like right around the freaking corner. And I pinned them up against the wall, and I said, "You're not gonna steal my hat, can you hear?" Next thing I know, the whole array of teachers come out of the woodwork and they see me pitting this kid, and I was like,
So
isn't
it's
this
like the
freaking
most
fantastic?
inconvenient times.
Yes. And then I was at like a school dance or something, and my dad was dropping me off.
Let's take a break, reset up the set. Let's take a quick commercial break. I think Lynn and Sally are here. I wonder if I would do differently what I did then raising my kids.
Well, we're about to find out.
Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We're good. Keep talking. Chat amongst yourselves.
I'm on A3.
Again, Freddie's off the set. We're just talking about Sally because she's opening her show up now to specific questions on Call Me Zena. You know, when I tell people, oh, I had a psyche, and she said this and this, and I said, did she say anything about me? No, but you can certainly call in and ask any questions. Josh always has a few questions.
I had something last time. I forgot what it was, though. I guess, is there like a specific time? No, I know everything's balance, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So I want to focus on, one day photography, one day programming, one day art, one day music.
Okay.
It's just whatever you feel that day, just do it.
Yes, because you're going with your gut instinct, Josh.
Okay.
So if you feel like you want to talk about art, if that's the first thought, go with your first thought. Then talk about art. Don't spread yourself too thin, though, if that
Okay.
makes sense to you. Concentrate on that. You might want to do it twice in the art to continue. But whatever your first thought is usually what we're meant to be doing. And not if you're all over the place, because then you're not going to necessarily know what your first thought is.
Yeah, and then
But
every day is different, obviously,
Every
right?
day is different.
Every day is
yes,
different.
Yes, yes.
Every day is like a box of chocolate.
Yes,
You
it
never
is.
know what you're going to get.
I know what that's from.
Where's it
Forrest
from?
Gump.
Yeah, Freddie, don't believe anything she says about that coffee, by the way. It's just right for her.
Thank you very much. I didn't thank you. Thank you for my coffee, Freddie.
Did you see the face Katie made when she thought you were actually going to sit down next to her? He's ignoring
Oh
me.
my gosh. This is a large cup
Lynn,
of
what
coffee.
type
What did I take?
What type of parent were you for your kids? Were you stern and strict? Or were you more of a, okay, whatever you guys want to do?
I was more of a combination. There were some things where there were very clear boundaries and very clear, we don't do this. But for the most part, I let them have experience making choices so that they would understand that choices have consequences. And even I'll give you an example, and that is with my son, he'd gotten a Bright Future scholarship, but he wasn't really applying himself at school. And by the time he told us what he was doing, because we weren't haunting him about, well, what are your grades this semester? What are your grades this semester? Eventually, he ended up losing the scholarship. And then it was time to help him understand what the consequences were. So the consequences for him was that he was going to have to finish college, but he was going to have to figure out how he was going to pay for it.
And how'd that work out?
It worked out really well, especially for my daughter, because she was watching.
Oh.
And it took my son 8 years to finish college. The last year and a half were done online at a different school. My daughter finished in 4 years.
So you really stuck by the consequence. You really stuck by your word.
Yes. Yes, because it's if you don't understand that life has logical and natural consequences, then you'll go out into the world believing that the artificial world your parents created for you is the real world, and you will be very disappointed and very frustrated with life.
It's interesting. I talk to Freddie about that all the time, not even as parenting, but even in business. If we say one thing or people do something, there's a consequence to that action. If we don't continue with what we said and we say, well, it's okay, then they're going to continue to repeat that behavior, because then that behavior, whatever it is, has no negative consequence, which means that other person thinks, oh, I can keep doing that. And he says, no, 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 they're going to learn, or this is just who they are, they're not going to change. So it's kind of, we can even apply that in business. I guess it goes back to our why that you did.
Right. Once we understand that part of ourselves, then it helps us to create some level of balance and responsibility and accountability.
How about you, Sally?
Yeah, actually, that's really interesting, because if I look at it from a spiritual point of view too, we have lessons to learn here. I truly believe that. And we keep learning the lesson until we get it. But what I'm beginning to understand is you think you may be over a lesson, but you may not be. We don't always know. It will present itself again, but it will present itself in a slightly different scenario. Let's say, whatever it is, you'll say, I think I've been through this before, but the situation was different. I believe that we keep carrying on until we get it. We don't always understand when we get it. So because I believe in previous lives, we come back, we'll bring it back into another life. We might skip a life. So on a spiritual page, it's the same thing. We have lessons and we continue with them until we get it.
It's like me and vacuum cleaners. One day I'm going to find out why I continue to buy every vacuum cleaner that I can possibly find, and then they break. So I said I either lived in squalor and dirt in a past life, or I lived in a very clean place that I have to. It's one or the other. It's no in between.
That's funny.
I should ask Sally. Okay, so where did I live?
Why? Okay. In a previous life. Actually, the life that we go back to, I don't know if they even had vacuum cleaners. So,
Exactly. So there's something weird
so you
about.
had to sweep a lot.
That's the whole spiritual sweeping thing that I think I do.
Yes. Well, maybe you're meant to be sweeping. I don't know. We'll look at that, Dawn. That's interesting.
I don't know. Something
Yeah,
to look at,
very
because another
interesting.
vacuum just came in the mail today.
It's not so much the vacuum, it's what the vacuum does.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling. The vacuum is cleaning house. Oh my gosh, am I getting this strong? And it's not that there's anything wrong with your house, but you may understand this. You need to clean house, whatever that may mean to you. It's there. Can
Yep,
you
it's-
see that?
It's like
Yes.
order for me. It's like I know everything goes in a place.
Yes.
And they say start from the back forward. So I try to start and then sweep it out.
Sweep it away, but
Sweep it out,
maybe
like-
the structure is, maybe you shouldn't be as structured as you are with this. It's definitely something about cleaning house, however you want to interpret that, definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely some
Yes.
psychosocial issue I have
Definitely,
with cleaning my
definitely.
house.
Yes, it's not the house exactly, it's the cleaning of everything.
There's some old meme or old saying that says something about if your house is a mess, your mind is structured, and vice versa. So maybe if the surroundings aren't clean or aren't organized, then maybe you're organized in your mind.
Most people might be organized in their mind, but I try to be, but I delegate it out.
But I think you definitely need to look at this, whatever it is, Dawn. It's not bad. And again, I'm not here to give you something really bad because your vacuum keeps breaking. It's something that is getting your attention. And you need to kind of maybe go in and think, well, okay, how many vacuums have you had that are broken? 6. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this has definitely it's got my attention too. Okay.
Another one just came today because the one I had last
Okay.
week broke in a week.
Well, you know, yeah, we'll look at this definitely. Maybe not on the air, but we'll air it somehow.
How did your session go today? How's the book coming?
Amazing, right? Amazing.
Yeah,
we're taking a whole different.
Just keep going deeper into all of this. Right now we're not sure if it's a book or a black hole, but we keep working our way through it. So.
And we're doing
Tell me why. Tell me why book versus black holes. Because you keep, the more you dig, the more you dig. Are you
Yes,
going to write it all or not?
The more we dig, the more we discover. And the more we discover, the more we realize that there's still places we haven't dug yet.
But we are going to finish it in 2023, okay, for
Wow.
sure, definitely, another few more months. But it's taken on a whole new life, basically,
Yeah,
a whole
it
life
really
of its
has.
own. I'm channeling a lot of what that Lynn asks me because I'm doing similar to what I do on the show. Some of the questions he asks me, it's coming through, and I'm going to mention Aldo, right? We're definitely going to give him a lot of credit for this book, although he's not around. He's giving me tremendous answers, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we probably could say that Aldo's writing the book because
Yes.
it's like he's giving me the questions and then he's giving Sally the answers. So we're just kind of like I don't know, what are we, like the ventriloquist
We're just-
dummies or something, where we're just pretending to move our mouths and his words are coming out.
But you guys have done this before in another life.
Yes, and I think that's where we've got really a comfort level here. But I give messages and I receive messages, But sometimes, if it's for me, I do want some sort of validation that Aldo is talking to me. So I decided to go to a psychic about 4 days ago.
Oh, wow.
And I've got it on my phone. The very first thing he said to me, Aldo's here. Do you know who Aldo is?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone. He said that to me. And then proceeded to tell me, well, Aldo's very happy with the book. He mentioned the book 2 minutes later.
So the psychic went to a psychic.
The psychic went to a psychic for my own validation.
And what did the psychic tell you?
Exactly what's happening, that I'm writing a book, that Aldo is there all the way along with this book. Told me that there's going to be a movie, which we are working on the movie. There'll be a third book, which I believe is the movie book, and that it's going to be very successful. So, I mean, he knew none of this, but he brought Aldo up. Aldo's behind this whole thing, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and there's another aspect of this that we keep digging into, and that is that I'm not even sure how to say this, Sally, but
Okay.
there's a level of understanding that we have between us, which is a purely spiritual thing. That I don't know. It's that there's something that we both or each understand, that we can help each other communicate or get across in the book or in the language. Because remember, just a few weeks ago, this was Sally's book, and I was just kind of, I was the stenographer writing it down, right? And it keeps shifting. And
It's amazing.
So now
Yeah.
it's a creation that we are kind of both channeling.
And it's not to leave the Brooklyn Cafe out, because we definitely discussed that, and I also brought it up, and the psychic brought it up too. We are definitely in the right place. This is like our meeting place, the people that are coming in, just to give you guys a message. And I'm hearing this, you are all the right people. It's the law of attraction. And it's not just Lynn and I that are bringing them in. We're all bringing in people that where you're going from here on in. It's going to be, well, I didn't know this man. I had met him maybe a year and a half ago. He said 2023 is going to be a great, great year for all of us, because I did mention you and Freddie too, came up. And I can only tell you what I hear, but I feel it too. So.
Freddie, you know a regular coffee shop where everyone kind of sits, they go in, they meet, they greet. We have this virtual coffee shop, because it's not really there's more Amazon packages. We have a virtual coffee shop. Oh no, it's
not
Baxton.
the vacuum cleaner.
No, the vacuum came already. Where people
There's
come and they
another one.
meet.
It's coming in advance.
And they have coffee in one room. We had Karina was here yesterday. She moved from table to table because she was there, and then we had a show. And then she moved there, and then the show finished. Then she moved in there, and then the crew came. Then we had to set up the table and move her back there, because it was constant moving and doing. And I think that's what we've created here, even with our crew, because they support each other.
Friends, didn't they have the coffee house?
Yes.
And they used to all hang out in there, and they had the big coffee mugs, which I always loved. And everything took place, everything that they decided their life when they were in a cluster. Just to get away from the apartments, which was it was interesting the way it was written. But that's what you want to do. You want to be in a place where you can share ideas.
Which is what we get to do every day. Do you have any past lives in Egypt, you and Lynn?
I certainly do, and I believe Lynn does too, because when I started painting, I was drawing a lot from Egypt, which things I had not seen. When I was drawing the pyramids, I felt very much at home there. I think Lynn and I have okay, let me think. Yes, we do have
You gotta love Sally, because she never says no.
No, I can't say no, but it just came to me. Because every question is important, so.
I kind of feel like you did this back where you documented something about Egypt in a life.
Yes, we did. We had scribes I think we brought this up. There's scribes in those days that would write, because not everybody could write.
Right.
So specifically, we had scribes that wrote down what we were talking about. We brought a lot of people to meetings. Okay. This is turning into something really weird. But I think so. We'll talk about that.
Well, and there's a book that we that we wrote when we were in France many years ago, many lifetimes ago, and the book is in French, right? It would have to be in French, and we probably didn't actually physically handwrite it ourselves. We had people to do that.
The scribes,
for us,
yes,
right?
yes. They keep telling me scribes.
But that's it. It's like the black hole or the rabbit hole or something, because you can just go into these enormous levels of depth and not find the bottom, right? It's like, was it the Marianas Trench in the Pacific Ocean? For decades, they thought they would never find the bottom of it. And I don't even know if they have found
We're
it
beginning
yet.
to. We're coming up now out of the, whatever the depth is. But I don't believe, again, that everybody in this room, it's not coincidence right now. We had mentioned everybody sitting here, actually, in the other room. It's where it's meant to be right now. And I always used to hear that from Aldo, you're right where you're meant to be. And I feel that this is very, very strong, including you, Josh, you know that.
See, how do you know you're supposed to be in the right place? Or how do you know you're in the right place?
Okay, that's actually a really good question, because for years I didn't know. I thought I was always in the wrong place because so much was happening. But it's a feeling of contentment. It's a feeling of knowing that you feel comfortable, even if you've only just met someone, if you feel comfortable with that person. The same as if you're not meant to be there, you feel that you might want to leave. It's you can't really explain it, but you'll know it when it happens. I feel very comfortable sitting here. I might just stay here now for the next couple of days.
Well, I think that's what happened yesterday. We had people that came in at 9 o'clock yesterday? And normally between 2 and 5, we have a little bit of catch-up time. But nobody left. They were literally still here, Lynn, I think, as you walked in, and they were walking out. And they had been here since 9 o'clock in the morning, people. They go from room to room, and then Freddie said as someone was walking out the door, someone else walked back in the door, so they came back inside to continue the conversation.
They're telling me not to buy too many like sofas with convertibles that open, because you might find that they'll be sleeping in.
It's going to be a B&B pretty soon.
Just saying, okay.
That's amazing.
That would be pretty cool, though.
No,
whatever you wish for, don't wish for it.
No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. It
No,
would not.
I agree with you, Fred.
But, I wanted to ask, do you ever, especially here, run into people and sort of scratch your head and says, somehow they fit into the puzzle, but you don't know yet how, and they don't know yet how, but all of a sudden you're talking to them and more things go about. Do you ever run into that in this place?
I have for myself. We were discussing that too. It's a sad topic, but again, I lost my daughter. But I have met so many people here since I've been here that have lost a child. I mean, this is sad, and I don't want to, emphasize on this. But I feel that maybe this is some sort of a calling for me to explain what happens, because I'm able to by being channeled. They tell me where that person is. And I'm believing that, to me, it was a message that I need to give people. I'm not sure yet, but to help them get over this extremely difficult grief. So in answer to the question, we don't always know, but if it continues with the same type of person or a scenario which I was saying is similar to what I'm talking about, we need to look at that. Perhaps it's something we're meant to explore.
I'm always amazed by the people that come in here and the guidance, like Sally, who had Aldo, and Lynn, who brings in people, and then the two of you connect, and how it always happens that way, right? Someone always connects with somebody in this studio.
Because your studio is a meeting place for this. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not just saying it because I'm sitting here. We were talking about it, right? Absolutely.
And I just want to remind, I don't know, Sally, I think that Russ expects you here on Monday night.
Oh, I wanted to bring that up, actually, to you. I'm glad you... Yes, because he mentions that he has a guest on the show. I didn't know if it was me, because he had asked me. So, yes, I'll be here, because I'm going to be here in the afternoon. I'll be here on Monday in the evening, too.
Or dinner time at the cafe. I think we need a chef. Chef Martin?
No, Baxton.
Baxton.
Yeah, all I can make is like cereal. I can make good grilled cheese. I can make a good grilled cheese and a good PB&J.
Can I put my order in now? I will be here at dinner. Steve will be here too.
Sally's big on the PB&J.
Yes, that sounds good.
She carries it with her. All right, let's take a commercial break. More to come as we wrap up this Friday at the Brooklyn Cafe 888-994-4995. You know, there's a freeze everywhere, and I think we're going to get into a brisk 70-something over the weekend. Something like that. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune.
If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 855-993-2180. That's 855-993-2180. Again, 855-993-2180.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
If you want to do breakfast, is up early.
Nice job.
What, they teaching you how to play drums?
Katie Zivley on the drums.
Katie playing the drums. You know who could play drums?
Who?
J-Lo.
They were all playing the drums. I think everyone's enjoying the whole drum situation here.
They're the drummer boys.
Ever have Guitar Hero at your house? Right?
No,
but
my
Guitar
kids-
Hero has all the pieces. We actually had the drum set I brought in here that time when we
you
moved.
made me throw it away.
And we made you throw it away. But Aaron used to love all those pieces. Sally, what kind of parent were you?
I was really young, so I had a lot to learn too in parenting,
know.
and I think both of my kids have pointed that out to me. My daughter especially did. But yeah, I grew up with them, basically. I was 18. I had 2 children by the time I was 19 or 20.
Wow.
And I had never
You had
been-
2 children?
Yeah, I have 2 children.
At 19 years of age?
Yeah, I was married at, well, 20. I was married at 19. My daughter was...
What, you had twins?
No, there was not too much difference in their ages, so they had like a year and a half. So by the time I'm 22, I'm bringing up 2 babies. And I'm only
How
very
was
young
that?
myself.
That must have been
It was very difficult
challenging.
because I was on the serious side, actually. It was not easy because I had not grown up. I didn't grow up. I don't know if I even grew up.
You weren't the wild Sally that we all know.
No, I was very, I was a mother of 2 saying, what in the world have I done? But
It's
you know,
true. When you're in
yeah.
the thick of it, you think, "Oh my gosh, what did I?" Because we didn't know any better then. Because you
Didn't
just
know,
thought we were
no.
supposed to do
Yes.
what we did.
Yes, yes. I got married very young and I had my daughter 9.5 months later.
You know, we were talking about that back in the day we did things, and today they think it's bonkers. It's taboo. You're not even supposed to say it.
Well, now we talk about things that we didn't talk about then. Everything is open for discussion. You share feelings.
No, you can't.
Yes, everyone shares their. Ask Katie, the feeling circle.
No, it's feeling stick, but
feeling
there are
stick?
things that you can't talk about.
What's
From
a
New
feeling
Girl.
stick?
The
From-
feeling stick.
From New Girl, there's a scene where Jess
Pass the stick.
has a feeling stick, and they're trying to resolve a conflict of some kind, and they're lost.
With a stick.
And so she pulls out this feeling stick that's like decorated and it's painted with like stripes and stuff. And she said, well, my rule is whoever has something to say, they need to hold the feeling stick and share their feelings. And if they don't have the feeling stick, they can't share their feelings.
That's more to control the flow so you don't have a massive craziness. Like everybody in here, if they wanted to say their feelings about a certain subject.
But you have to be able to say it in a non-judgmental place, right? So if someone shares their feelings, like we did earlier in the show,
Well, I was just told not to say
it has to
something
be
'cause-
non-judgmental
Yeah, but
because it
sometimes
has
you don't
to be
know.
open.
They tell me not to do that because apparently I'm not taking that person's feelings into consideration. And that's not true.
Because you
at
never
all.
know what journey somebody is walking through to get to those feelings. So it has to be a judgment-free zone. I said that about you yesterday, about you, how you are totally judgment-free of people.
But apparently I make mistakes too. I was just told
Well, we
not
all
to
make
say
mistakes,
something.
but
Yeah, but I like to know when I'm making a mistake. You know, I go to Sally, if I did this, is it a mistake? And she says, and she's very clever with her answers. You got to the edge of the cliff.
But you
Don't
didn't
jump off. you know, I like to be able to say things freely. I mean, they have buzzers and everything, but I don't mean
things. There's a nickname you gave to Tina.
So what? What's wrong with that? I spoke to her.
Is it the one that she likes?
A samurai. She loves it.
Oh, okay.
She loves that name.
And then he said something yesterday. I forgot what.
She wanted to cut her hair.
Oh yeah.
So now, Tina happens to be Asian, and I called her samurai, and she loved it. She didn't have a problem with it. Oh, she didn't have a problem with it. I don't know if she loved it. So she tells me she's going to cut her hair. So I said, you should cut your hair like a samurai. You know, samurai in the day had the swords. What was the name of the guy? Kung Fu. Remember the movie,
Kung
the
Fu
show
Panda?
Kung Fu?
Kung Fu Panda.
Not
Yeah,
Panda.
Kung Fu, there was a real, yes.
Not Kung Fu
Martial
Panda.
arts.
That's a cartoon.
And
There
I'm
was-
always trying to find the right word, martial arts, yes.
Okay, so there was this guy. What was his name? He was famous.
Bruce Lee?
David
No, it wasn't Bruce
Carradine
Lee.
The Karate Kid.
was the actor. Wow.
David Carradine, he
David
says?
Carradine. David Carradine. And he walked all over the world. And Mr. Kung Fu used to Kung Fu his way through situations. My brother took Kung Fu because of the show. He took me with him. I had to sit there for 3 hours. Now, I was young. And I sat there for 3 hours. And the instructor came over. He says, you will never be in my class. I go, why? He says, because you can't stay awake. I says, mister, I'm only 9 or 10, whatever I was. So I was talking about the hair, because they had samurai warriors in the class. They used to do the hair, and they had this, and they had not swords, they had wood sticks, but they were supposed to be swords.
So what did you say?
So I said to her, why don't you get your hair cut like a samurai? They went nuts on me,
Why?
because you're not supposed to say that. Right?
I think it's just this new generation that we have.
That you
There's
can't
a
say
lot-
anything.
There's a lot of things you got to be careful with saying.
I think we're too
Politically incorrect.
sensitive, man. Way too sensitive. I mean, and I asked her, I says, does that offend you? She says, no. She says, everybody always makes fun. Now, that's what threw me off about me being Asian. She brought it up. It wasn't me.
Well, because she knows she's Asian.
So do I.
And it's like, funny thing is, everyone knows what their origin is, right? And you know who you are, what you represent. But then you can't. You got to be very careful in
Yeah,
how
but
you
you get
skirt
mad
it
at me
around.
when I say Chinaman.
Because that's not.
Well,
good.
he's a China guy.
Yeah.
He's a Chinaman.
Yeah, that's not good.
And you're not supposed to say Chinaman. I'm supposed to
But
say.
you can say they're Chinese.
Well, sometimes
Asian.
yes, but you got mad at me. He got mad. Everybody got
Because
mad
I don't
at
think
me.
they were from China.
Well, she's not from China either. She's from.
I don't know where she's from.
Vietnamese.
Maybe.
Well,
Yes,
I
think
have a
she's from
question.
Vietnam.
What happens when they're talking about AI now and they're talking and they're writing all this literature and everything? Are they going to be questioned that they're putting the wrong things down?
We were talking about
politically
that
incorrect?
yesterday with AI, what that's done for so many changes in creatives. Because, like Lynn, for you, for editing and for everything in the writing industry, AI is writing books, and then they're editing the books, and they're publishing the books.
But they don't know, I guess, what's politically correct or incorrect. They're just going
It's
with
whoever
what they've read.
programs it, I guess.
Yeah, it's whoever writes the code.
So can you imagine, like,
But that could
a
be
former
lot.
president of ours or something getting in and writing the code for him, and then you've got all these political sides, and if you've got someone who's politically far left or right programming this is the information
Well,
that's
how
going
can
to
the
get out.
program write a book? Like, let's say you're going to write about your life. The program is not going to know about you.
Yeah, but if you're
You gotta
programming it
feed
to pick up things,
you gotta
right?
feed it certain information.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna feed it facts,
Yeah.
and then it's going to organize those facts. But for me, I would not consider that to be actually writing a book, because I believe that there's an energetic signature that a human being has when they write especially when they write their own story. And it's that energetic signature, that frequency, that ultimately draws the readers of the book to the book. And I don't know if AI will ever be able to capture that, but if people are not aware of that energetic frequency, then it might be okay for them to read it if they're just looking to buy a history book. But if you're looking for something more than that, if you're looking for something to transport you somewhere, especially emotionally, I'm not sure AI is going to be able to do that ever, or at least it'll be a long time before it can.
Now, will AI write it for me like a ghostwriter? If you ask it to ghostwrite what I wanted to write, would it do that?
Well, they wouldn't know your life story,
Surely
right?
it has to be, and I don't know a whole lot about this, but it has to be what they do research, I guess, on what we've put it. It has to be somewhere on the airwaves or somewhere, right? How do they know?
But imagine if there's an AI, say, for Fox News, and then there's another AI that's written for CNBC, and then there's another AI written for gay Republicans, like someone came in. Each of their facts are their own facts,
Right.
but they may not be the norm facts. Josh?
I mean, AI is
You have a mic?
a lot
Please
of
have
different things. We have AI. We use it every single day with Siri or OK Google. Those are just AIs. They're
That's
all,
interesting.
They're all just and mine went
Like
off.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, they're all just integrated systems that we feed algorithms to, and it all depends on who writes the code. And that's why it's very important to put this in elementary schools. I mean, they're teaching Spanish because it's the population is growing more Spanish. We need to teach computer programming because technology is going to
That's
soon
true.
take over, and we need to have the kids
but
learn
there's
how
a
to.
problem, Josh.
That's true.
Kids nowadays, they communicate with their phones. Like you could be sitting next to each other like you are right now and watching a movie. I seen Gio do this, and he talks to Sabrina by texting. But what happened to the art of speaking? And he tells me it's because they don't want to miss something when they're talking that's being said. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because you're missing it when you're doing this.
I mean, our whole verbiage is going to change too, or the English, whatever you want to call it, is going to change just because of texting. We're going to talk in text formality instead of just, normal, how it used to be.
They were talking about that. People don't text in full sentences.
No.
Can
To
AI
the
will
point.
pick up, Josh, from, let's say I have my story or whatever is out there, they can pick up who I am from that. But can it also pick up, like from text? It has to be, if it's my story or whoever, it has to be something they have said in AI. If I answered a question in a text and someone asked and they were writing something about me, can they use that quotation? Is that kind of...
If it can be found,
Yeah,
it can
that's-
be used.
Right.
The
Yeah.
question is, do you
Scary.
always want that?
Yeah, there's a thing called cookies and cache on Google, and what that is, it's like, say you go on Google and you type in a new pair of shoes that you want to look at, and then you go on Facebook and you see an ad for that specific shoes, but it's on sale now. That's cookies and cache, and that's what algorithms is, and it just feeds you what you want to see, only what you want to see, and it's gonna kind of change your mind and just basically only put out there, the stuff that you want to see, really. And that's the whole problem with Facebook back in 2016. They kept feeding out false news and false information, and it's being put out there to these groups of people that read it and accept it, I guess. And then they spread it out even more.
Yep, that's fake news.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem, is that it isn't what gets out there, it's what you want to get out there that's real, not real. Dawn found somebody using my name in Brazil, and he just changed pictures, but he used everything of my information.
Because I saw your daughter-in-law was on there with a different name. Same name, same first name, different last name.
So they're going to think that I said certain, so I reported and they
Oh,
took
did
it
you?
down. Yeah, right away they took it down.
Interesting.
But it goes to show you that sometimes people will use your information, your face and stuff, and you didn't say any of these things. So AI may not be the solution to definitely writing books, I can tell you that.
That can become very scary. What if you hadn't picked it up? It would have still been out there, right?
It would have been. She found it. She says, and she says, I didn't know you were in Brazil.
I said, I didn't know you were a model in Brazil. He says, what are you talking about?
No.
I'm like, and I'm looking at the people.
In another life, I
like you were
drinking enough of that.
And you
I
said,
will
this
be.
guy, I go, this is a good-looking, young, thin model in Rio de Janeiro. I'm like, this is you?
She said, this ain't you ugly old slob of you.
No, I would
Wow.
never. But it wasn't even like there's a fake one of you that has no picture in it. It just says Freddie.
Really? Another one?
Yeah, Z went on it the other day.
Oh,
And
you got to delete that too.
We were
I
trying to
got
do that also.
stuff everywhere.
But how do you find it? You've got to have somebody, that would be their job, to find out everything that is
You gotta
pertaining
look
to
for
you.
it. You gotta look for it.
Scary.
And it's funny because when When I did I went to see Obama and Romney debate at the university. I had to get clearance. And the CIA or the FBI, I think it's the FBI, they sort of run this thing. And they sent me a note saying, yo, what is all these Fredericks? So somebody had gone in there and changed the spelling of my name. And I said no and no and no, and they took it all out. I guess it's back.
It was interesting, though. Lynn, do you think, you talked about energetic fingerprint, thumbprint, footprint, when people write, that when people write, it's almost cathartic enough that you can heal a past childhood trauma? Like my cleaning, maybe I've got a past childhood trauma from vacuuming, I don't know. But if I were to write about it, then maybe I would be able to move through this life with a clearer perspective on whatever it is I'm looking to do.
Right, and you don't even have to write a whole book. It's just, that's why so many people recommend journaling or recommend what's called morning pages, which is where you write 3 pages the minute you wake up before any other thoughts have come in, and then just like automatic writing kind of thing. Back on the AI writing books again, what I would love to see, and maybe it's already been done, I would love to see if AI can write a romance novel, and then I'd like to see a number of romance novel readers read the AI written romance and give their thoughts on how good a job the AI did. Because I think that would be a really interesting test of it, because is the AI that sophisticated that it could actually understand the reader that well?
Well, you have an interesting new platform that you're bringing out to the editor's desk that I don't think you even heard about. You're going to be offering book reviews because you read every book of your guests that come in, which is a tremendous undertaking in time.
Yeah, part of our show prep every week is to read the entire book of every guest that comes in, and between us, Louise and I have been doing reading and editing and writing and all this stuff for probably 30 plus years. And I'm aware of book review companies out there, and that whole world has changed because they charge a lot of money for a book review, but they might have somebody that they're paying $5 to actually write the review. You don't really know who their reviewers are or the level at which they're functioning. So we're going to be offering our guests the opportunity to, not only have time on our show to give them visibility, but to also have us write a professional book review for them, where they'll be able to take that book review and post it to social media, put it wherever they want to put it. And, ours is going to be as good as anybody else's, probably better, especially because that whole area seems to have degenerated quite a bit in terms of the quality that's currently being offered compared to the price.
Because you're going to do a real book review instead of just a sentence, great book, bad book, I liked it a lot because I liked the cat in the book. You're doing a real, and I'm as much a victim and to blame of this. People ask me to read their books and do a book review. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time to read. So it may be a year, it may be over a year. There's 50 other books that come in the meantime. But if we can send our authors to Lynn and Louise and be part of the editor's desk in conjunction with and get a real professional review, that speaks volumes, no pun intended.
It's true. Not only that, but you can actually talk about the next book, or you could talk about something else is going to happen in the future because of this book. It's what Frank does.
Right, or the theme within it. There's a lot of things. I like the whole idea.
And then you can put it on his show. You can say, this book was really, really great. Why don't you come on my show? Because the platform has so many people that are watching. You should have recommending the book of the week or something.
Josh, somebody's calling.
Oh, look at that. Somebody's calling.
See,
we'll be right with you. Don't go away.
We're getting the phone for you. But I think it's a great offering. All right. That's Frank.
He's in the other studio.
We're going to see who's going to send it over to the studio. You hung up on him? Frank called back. He didn't mean to drop the phone on you.
Studio A, not B, Frank. Studio A. And Frank is good at doing it as well because he enhances what he's doing. Sally's doing the same thing right now. The only thing is that Sally's book, when you guys are working through this thing, it's not the same book that you set out to write.
No, it's totally different. We're doing a completely different aspect on how actually it came today, really, completely to me. Why I called myself Zena. I think you walked in as we were discussing
Right.
that. And I have no idea in fact, I don't even remember sometimes what I'm talking about. But it made a lot of sense. Am I correct, Lynn, in saying I was given...
Lynn, did it make sense?
Well, yeah.
Lynn,
because I was...
were you there? Did it make sense?
No, I don't know what I say. So I assume they're telling me, yes, it did make
Oh,
sense.
you should hear the things you were saying.
Why do you call yourself Zena?
Well, that's going to be in the book.
Oh, okay.
So but I changed from Sally to Zena. But Aldo was here, and he was talking to us, and he told me why I changed, how it happened.
Wow.
I did not know. I suddenly realized why I had picked the title, Call Me Zena. I've always wondered. This was a long time ago. Why am I calling myself Zena? But I got the answers. When
Today?
I changed, my name was Zena, without going into too much detail of it. But I realized this was, if people understand, their higher self. But he explained exactly to me, because Zena now had the answers. Sally had only so much, but
Right.
Zena did. So the book is going to now take a completely different journey.
It's interesting because Russ Johnson has somebody calling in from Arizona. And you gotta, I don't want to give it away. You gotta listen, because I've heard them before. I've done Russ's show 8 years ago, and she was on it, this whole organization, which are huge organization. And they go through this too. They don't have an Aldo, they have other beings that talk through them. And we put them on the air. Now I gotta tell you, 8-10 years ago when I first heard this, I was like, are you kidding me? Right? But as time has gone on, I've discovered that more and more people like Sally are actually focused on other things going on. It's just an amazing aspect. You can't say it doesn't exist, because it does. And you can't say, like the psychic that said to you, who's Aldo? You can't say you walk in cold to a room and they go, well, who's this person? That they don't exist, right?
Exactly, yes. And I have it on my phone. So, I mean, this is,
And
even
they
if
knew
I
your
didn't
personality, she said.
But there are other beings, which I'm eager to actually go on
But are
the
they
show.
inside you, or are they
No,
around
I
you?
saw, because when I changed from Sally to Zena at the beginning of my journey, I was actually, which will hopefully maybe his show, I'm not sure how he conducts the show, but I was taken to many different planets. I didn't know these beings. Well, I didn't know that I knew these beings that took me there. But Aldo's still not left out of that journey, because he told me what my dream was. How in the world can that be possible when I have a dream, not understanding myself? At least I didn't know I could understand. The following day is explaining my dream to me without me even telling him, going to different planets. I personally, and I certainly understand people that don't understand this. How is this possible? This is really...
I'm listening to the hold music.
What is this music? What is that?
That's the hold music for Frank. Let's bring him over.
You have to open up. Oh, that's the phone line.
That's the phone line. It's
Yeah,
always
bring him
amazing to me that how Aldo found you, and how Aldo knew when you were in the hospital, how Aldo knew what your dreams were. I mean, that's not even of a physical being ability.
But to clarify that, which I just came to the realization today, he did not show himself to me till I became what I didn't know, Zena. When I had gone through this, and well, it's a long story, we can talk about it, until I realized, and they actually told me to call myself Zena. It's only today that I actually woke up to this whole thing of understanding more of that.
Do you ever remember the conversations you have?
With Aldo that I had? Yes.
I mean, you don't know the paintings, you paint them, you turn them into clothes, you wear them. Are you aware?
When I'm painting, no, because I start my art, and some of it's very intricate. You know, I don't know what I'm painting until I've finished, and then I look at it and see it. But the most amazing thing about my art is everybody sees it differently, because there's so much in it. And I knew that in the very beginning. People would say, oh, look at that. I didn't know. And I painted it. I'm going, in fact, just now.
Yeah, you
I
saw
saw a
something
horse
today.
in the other room. I didn't know that. It's as clear as anything, the horse in one of my paintings, the head and the reins. That's been hanging there a long time. It's been in my house. I never saw
And
it.
you never saw the horse.
I'm going to go
Never.
look for the horse now.
But if I point it out to you, you'll see it. You may have seen it. I didn't see it. So I don't know what I'm painting, the same as my poetry. I'm a little strange.
And so when people ask you questions and you answer them, do you realize that you're answering them?
Yeah, now I'm doing it. I couldn't
Now, I know
tell-
you know you're doing it, but do you realize what you're saying?
No, I really don't. And I often say to you at the end of my show, I don't know really what, until it's only recently because I'm here and I have recordings of what I'm talking about. I've been doing this many years with my girlfriend, but we didn't record it. And she had to prompt me of what I said. Part of that will come back. No, I don't remember. Until I hear it, then I'll remember that whole segment. As it could be 5 minutes, it could be 3 minutes. Otherwise, I don't remember, no.
Amazing. It amazes me because I have another lady that I've been working with for years. And it wasn't until she explained to me how she does it, which are different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Everyone.
And she plays the piano. And I asked her to play the piano. She can't. Now, I thought at the beginning, like 5 years ago, I thought she was pulling my leg, to be honest with you. Because she plays it very well. And she's been in theater. And she says, I can't. I says, try. And she, you know, the fingers are like clustered and everything else. But I could play recordings for you that we have that she actually does play.
That's not unsimilar to what happens to me, actually,
You
even
play the
with my
piano?
art. Yes, I can't play the piano, and I,
I bet
can't
you
sing.
can.
Well, I'd love to be able. Please, I'd like
Keep
to
drinking.
sing.
We'll put you on the
I often wonder if I'm going to wake up one day and I have a voice, because my voice is terrible, but I love music and I can remember any song.
And I wanted to ask Lynn, are you familiar with that kind of deal where people are able to do things that they say they can't, but they end up doing it very well?
Yeah, I mean, that, if we go back into past lives a little bit, we all have all these talents and gifts that are within us, but we don't actually awaken to them until we have the remembrance of the lifetime in which we use them. But you carry everything with you. It's just that, you know, we, as humans, we kind of need a little burst of confidence that we can do things. We can't do everything, but we can certainly do a lot more than we think we can.
I think I can do more than I can.
No, you almost broke your neck with a painting.
You can. I can
It's
do
like that thing where a mother sees a child stuck in a car and then she's able to lift the car and she couldn't lift her grocery bag, and all of a sudden this strength comes out of nowhere and she's able to do. I saw that study when they brought out The Incredible Hulk, the movie, and they were trying to compare how we have the ability to say and do things because we only use like 1% of our brain.
It's because
I think that's,
they come down.
especially with the analogy with lifting a car. We can all do this. We just don't believe that we can. If we're put in a situation when we have to do it, we've seen that many times,
Then we do it.
So if we learn to turn this around, that's one of the spirits that just came in. If we learn to do, then if we start to believe this, and this is what I really would like to make as a message, believe it. And then you don't have to wait for that situation to arise. I'm not saying we can lift cars up. I don't know. I've never lifted a car up. But if I'm presented with that in a situation where I have to do it, it seems like people can.
You know, it's sad because I was given some news, a negative news recently, and I told the person, I refuse to believe that news because it's going to change you and how you do things. Just because somebody says it is does not mean that it is. So I said to that person, I says, maybe you should listen to me and not to them because I know you longer. And maybe whatever happens, happens. But all of a sudden, one of the reasons I don't like going to the doctor, I've told you this a million times, he's not paid to tell you you're perfect. He's paid to say, oh, you have a blood clot, or you got a this, or you got... All of a sudden, you start listening to these words, and you get sick, and they're pumping pills, and more pills, and more pills. Nah. The mind is a powerful
It plays tricks
tool.
with you. I don't, people will say, have a look and check this out. And even, I don't really like to use my daughter as an analogy, but when she had what she had wrong with her, I could not look up on Google because I felt like I was giving it more power to see what it was. I mean, obviously, the worst happened and she passed, but I never researched it. And many people said, research it. Why? But I feel that you're giving that the power now, you know, and you imagine if someone says to you, go check what you have out in Google, I won't do that. That's just me, because I think then I'm going to imagine I have all these things, and you do.
As you say, don't feed it.
Right, don't feed it.
All right, tune in Monday or come on down live to the show, 3 o'clock. Call me Zena with Sally Bernard. Ask those nitty-gritty specific questions. And just so you know, Sally, you bring them with you. That's all I can tell you.
That hasn't happened all week.
I can't even imagine what's going to be here on
I
Monday.
don't even worry about it no more.
Because we've got Sally and Russ on Monday.
Well, I'll be talking about UFOs. I wasn't sure whether I was going to be his guest,
I'm
but
going to have to
I
take
have
all
a
the
lot to say.
take all the paintings down because I have a feeling there are going to be flying saucers in here.
Oh my gosh. Have a great weekend, everyone. Tune in today at 3 o'clock to the Florida Love Show with Kenny Love and guest Lori Arbel. So a lot of great things happening here in the studio. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. You never know what somebody else's journey is on the other side. And we'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.